What's up, people? It's J8 Slim, episode 3, I guess, of First to 10. I'll give you a little 10-minute or so info and my peace of mind on certain things. Well, before I get into the meat of this episode, just a couple quick updates on a couple fighting games. Some of you may have lucked out or may not even know that Mortal Kombat 10 has had a recent beta going on for the new online netcode, for lack of a better word. I lucked out, managed to get into it, and I have to say it is much better than the original netcode for Mortal Kombat 10. The original netcode for Mortal Kombat 10 is disgustingly bad. So far in the beta, pretty good, a couple hiccups, but even the bad matches still have been playable. So that's a huge plus. Hopefully they actually initiate that sometime here soon, because it's pretty good. But that being said, there's that, and also anybody interested in Street Fighter V, which comes out next week. Today is the 11th. It comes out 16th. In case you haven't heard already, you know, if you're playing on PS4, you can use PS3 fight sticks, or PS3 controllers, period, I guess. Which is good for people who haven't, you know, bought the stick in anticipation of not being able to use their old stuff for Street Fighter V. I'm not one of those people, so, because I play pad mostly, and even so, I bought a stick for PS4 anyways here recently, because I found one at a decent price. Sorry, traffic is a little hectic right now. Just getting off work and everything. But on top of that, with Street Fighter V, they've announced that Alex is going to be the first DLC character to come out. He's going to drop next month in March, and they're dropping a new character every month for, I guess, the next 7 months. Because June they're not dropping a character, they're dropping the expanded story instead. And they said each DLC character is going to cost about 100,000 fight money, in-game money to unlock. But, okay, that out the way. What I've been playing a lot here recently, one of the things I've been playing recently is Nitroplus Blasterz, which just came out last week. It is, if you know nothing about it, it's, you know, a somewhat typical anime fighter. But, it plays a little different. Of course, any new fighter is going to have its own mechanics somewhat. Some stuff that may be familiar with other games, with some new things. But what I like the most about this game is it seems to have a little more substance, oddly enough, than some of the other anime fighters I've played recently. And it's made by Exemu, so like Aquapaza, Arcana Heart, I think a couple others, they've made all those as well. And getting lighting right now. I don't know how it's gonna show up. It just showed me with a completely blacked out face right now, because lighting right now is weird. And yeah, anyways, words are what's important. But with that being the case, like I said, it feels like it has a little more substance than most. It, for me, feels like, that didn't help any. It feels like a weird mix between, let's say, King of Fighters, oddly enough, which is not anime, and Guilty Gear. In the sense that it feels like King of Fighters with the substance and the pacing of King of Fighters, but with the, you know, anime-ish moveset and everything that Guilty Gear has. Except, as in typical, well, actually, no, I can't even say that, because Aquapaza did have more exaggerated emotions. It has a more simplified moveset, similar to Dengeki Bunko, in a sense. Just not that simplified. But, pretty much you got your standard stuff, you know, you got your A, B, C, then you have your it's E in this case, so extra button for, other things, and there's a button for, like, rolling and, shielding, stuff like that. Which the shield aspect can work like, if you're familiar with Blaze Blue, like doing barrier stuff in Blaze Blue, or familiar with other stuff like stuff that has a parry. If you time the shield well, it'll actually kind of clash. And I say clash versus parry because in games where there's a parry, let's say third strike, when you get a successful parry, you have attack priority. You don't have recovery from it while they're still in the animationary attack. But in this case, if you shield, if they catch you soon enough, it's a clash situation where both players, the person who shielded and the person who was in the attack, have that same attack priority. So if they're not paying attention and they're just pressing buttons, they're gonna, they may press something, assuming you did it with good enough timing and a good enough read. They may press something that's inadvantageous to them frame-wise, and you can still get an attack within that amount of time to catch them. But like I said, if the attacker is on point with what they're doing, they notice it, then it's just basically a reset. It's a defensive reset, which I think is pretty cool. But outside that feature, it has, I can't remember the number right now, either 14 or 16 starting off, and that's including 2 DLC characters, which right now they're free. I assume they're free for the first month, and then after that they may be about $3 or $4 a piece, just putting a guess out there. One of them being Homura from the Senran Kagura series. He is stupid in this game, in the sense that she's stupid, easy to learn, and she does ridiculous amounts of damage, along with pretty good attack speed and range and almost everything you want, no projectile. And then there's Heart from Arcana Heart, who is pretty much the same character, just in the fact you can't switch Arcana, so they kind of just force her default Arcana on her, which still works out just fine and pretty much works the exact same way. And she does have her homing dash from Arcana Heart, which sets her apart from the rest of the cast in her own little way. But in addition to those 16 or so characters, again, I'm just putting a number out there, 14 or 16, there are 20, I believe, assists that you can pick before each match, and you can pick 2. Now, they're not in assists in a way like Marvel is, or actually other games for the most part, where it works almost exactly like Aquapazza, in the sense that when you use them, their action can't be stopped, period. There's one sort of exception. Girl comes in, she runs out, and there's zombies chasing her, and those zombies just meander across the screen. Attacks will destroy the zombies. That's the only instance of assists being able to be stopped in this game. I guess you could say drawback to that is most assists within a standard round you can only use once, because there is a charge to them. A lot of them, and each one has their own separate charge. A lot of them take maybe 15 or so, 15, 20 in-game seconds to charge up all the way. Of course, there's the assists are extremely varied and work for different means, whether you're trying to just pressure the enemy with some, like there's one character named Dragon, which I see her a lot. She pops up and just yells, and just huge Dragon Ball Kamehameha type beam that takes up like the top 2/3 of the screen at a very weird angle. So if you are full screen from it, you can duck it, but more than likely you're not going to be able to go and get behind her in time, so you don't have to deal with blocking it. And then there's that versus one that I like to use a lot. There's this little high school girl, and she pops up. Whenever you use her, she pops up directly behind the other person with a bat, and just takes one good swing. If she connects, she pops them usually towards you. Decent damage, nothing, excessive. It's just good if someone's trying to, sit across the screen from you. And if you're using in combos, it doesn't scale. And to not go too far into the separate mechanics of the game, the assists can be used when you have them. They don't cost any more meter or anything, unlike Aquapazza, where Aquapods, they charge fairly quickly. If you use them in a combo, they burn one from your super stock and whatnot. Here, again, they're on their own meter. Whether you use them in a combo, use them during a super, it doesn't matter. It stops what you're doing at the moment. The assist comes out, and then you continue whatever action you're in the process of. So you can actually combo into a super, use the assists. It could be an assist. The assist may not even hit, but you can throw it out there and, you know, cancel your movement, and then finish with just a regular combo, do another super, whatever the case may be. But with that being said, I've hit 10 minutes here. Also, I'm actually home now. But I recommend Nitroplus to anybody who likes anime games or just likes solid games. Of course, there's, as always, tiers of characters, and there are characters in there that are noticeably higher tiers than others, but the characters below the high tier characters aren't that much lower. You can still get wins with like some of the supposedly weaker characters in the game if you have the skill behind it. But if you think you're good at anime games, just go in there just trying to do random stuff. Some characters that'll work with, but against people who are somewhat experienced in what they're doing, you'll just get destroyed. You could do a 1st to 10 and maybe get 2 matches. But yeah, again, it's a highly recommended game by me. If you're looking to get it right now, it's only $40 on PS4, and you can get that digitally or retail on disc, or you can get it on PS3 digitally only for $30. So anybody who's looking to play a new fighting game, not a bad price. $30 half for, you know, a full-on $6 retail game. $40 for a current gen is still pretty damn good. But yeah, with that being said, I'm signing out. And as usual, like, comment if you have anything to say. Like it, hate it, whatever. Say something. And subscribe if you haven't by now if you want to get more of these episodes. But I'll catch y'all later.